All right. Thank you guys for joining. So tonight we are here talking about oils for tension and stress and sleep. So I'm going to share my screen here. And you guys stop me anytime, those of you who are on live, if there's anything that you want to chat more about or ask questions. So you'll see here, less stress is just ahead. This is a little bit about me. So those of you who are watching who don't know me, I am SBell. I'm a doTERRA wellness advocate. So I'm an avid user of essential oils for many years. Really approaching life with an integrative medicine approach, really natural solutions. And so that's what brought me to doTERRA. I'm an occupational therapist. I work with kids. A big part of that is their motor skills, sensory skills, social, emotional, and well-being. So it all kind of ties together here. And then I'm also a youth yoga instructor. So yoga and mindfulness is a big part of my daily life. And oils has been an integrated part of that. So it all kind of wraps together. So today I wanted to talk about some oils and natural solutions to support tension and stress. And definitely those things impact sleep. So we'll touch base on that too. So here we are, that's what we look like when we're stressed out. So when we're under pressure, our nervous system actually naturally releases stress hormones, and that's actually a really good, healthy process. And that's where, you hear that fight or flight. So our body signals that those things happen. So stress is actually good if we are just having a small amount of it, we're staying alert, we're motivated and focused, and then the pressure should subside and our body can rebalance. The problem that we're having is that we are experiencing stress too often, sometimes for too long of a period of time, and that's where our nervous system is really struggling. And so it really takes wear and tear on our body. So we start to head tension, aches and pains, or getting sick all of the time, anxious feelings, maybe even panic attacks. We start to see blood pressure issues, definitely unpleasant GI things starting to happen, even weight gain or weight loss, reproductive issues, and then sleep and so much more. So, these things that are starting to pop up, the reason that they are affecting sleep is because stress actually causes hyperarousal, which means we're having difficulty falling asleep, staying asleep, kind of getting up with some of those restless nights. Before I started using oils for sleep, I actually thought I was a thinker and that that's what it was, and that I wasn't going to fall asleep quickly, and now I know that that's actually different, that the oils can support that. So there are studies that are linking GI issues also with insomnia. So we talk about kind of this domino effect, right? So we get the stress and then it causes GI issues, and then we have sleep issues, and then medications. And so, that's a big part of our Western medicine approach is to use medications, and oftentimes we're impacted by those side effects that impact sleep. And then, of course, our habits. And so that's where that mindfulness piece comes in. And I can always chat a little bit more about that piece. So how do oils have an impact on sleep and stress is because they really do have a quick response, you guys. This was amazing to me when I read the research and can share with you now about how quickly our body responds. And so because our brain is really functioning on that chemical level, these natural remedies actually have strong chemical messages. And so our body is actually having an impact by 22 seconds. The molecules from the oils are reaching our brain. Within 2 minutes, you can actually find them in the bloodstream. And then within 20 minutes, they have reached our cells to make an impact there at that cellular level. So super powerful, very potent. That's why it really just takes a small amount to have an impact. and a quick one, which is super cool. All right. Nicole, I can see that you've joined now. You just started talking about some things, so you didn't miss much there. This is like this really big chart, and I can share this with you guys, but really what I want to mention for you guys is that, you know, there's so many oils out there, and like which ones, and how do I know which ones are going to do what I need? Or maybe I ran out of my lavender and I know that one was calming, but is there something else that I could use that's calming? And so when you think about oils from a classification standpoint, so you're thinking about these categories, whether they're citrus or floral, an herb, a root, leaves, woods, resin, and spices, they fit into these 8 categories. And so if you can learn or have this little chart with you, you can kind of see that these are what you would be looking for. So you know, if I ran out of lavender, the floral, I can see that I wanted that to be relaxing. So then I might could look up an oil in our handy dandy book that would be a root, which we know would be calming as well. So this is super helpful when you're kind of trying to figure out, and then maybe too that you've got an oil for something and you're like, can it be used for other things? This is a really great way to do that. So that is actually in the book if you have the essential basics. If you don't, I do recommend it. This book is definitely the expert, super helpful. This is the smaller one. The newer version is out too. We have some new oils. And so that's definitely a great resource to have. All of my members should have a smaller version of it from your welcome packet, but I'm not sure if this chart is in there. So if you need this chart, definitely let me know because that can help you kind of choose on your own. We'll talk in a couple minutes about some oils that I think are really great for this topic of stress and sleep. So why does it matter what oils we use? Absolutely it does. And so you guys, those of you who know me know that I've used oils for years. I used oils that I got at the health food store, those sort of things. And I really thought they were pretty quality, but as the more I dug in, the more I learned that it really is hard to regulate that and to understand since they're not a drug, they're not food, the FDA is not regulating. And so that means that they can really have synthetics in them, not always on purpose. It doesn't mean the company is trying to fool us. It just means that there might not be the same process they go through to test the product. So with doTERRA, doTERRA's oils are very research-based. There's third-party testing them. There's lots and lots of info out there, really amazing research that came out in September about the quality of the oils, also comparing them to competitor oils. So it's really great to have that information. And really what the research is finding is that you absolutely have to have the quality for them to have the physiological response we're looking for. So if you really do want to have that cellular level impact, whether it be stress or sleep or other things that we talk about over time, then you definitely want to have this certified pure therapeutic grade. And so that is, doTERRA is the only oil that has this because that was something that the founders decided they really wanted to develop. And so that is the rigorous testing that's done. And then also the co-impact sourcing. So where they source the oils from, absolutely necessary to make sure the quality is that level that's really going to have the impact that we need on our wellness. All right, so here are all my favorite oils for tension, stress, and sleep. So each of these, I can send this to you guys, anybody who's watching here live or watching the recording. This will have links and you can go to them, straight to them to read them. I'm gonna go to the next slide because it just kind of really tells you about the oils. So lavender. So lavender is naturally a very relaxing oil. So I really love lavender in this touch roller because the touch roller is already pre-diluted, comes like this from doTERRA. It's a really great one. I keep it in my purse. If you're in the car, something stressful is happening, you're starting to feel anxious, those kind of things throughout your day, rubbing it on. And so good places to put that when you're feeling that is, behind your ears, your pulse points. Bottom of feet are always good because you absorb the oils quicker, but when you're doing it during the day, it's probably behind your ears and on your pulse points are the most convenient for that. Console, I realized I left my console in my purse before I came in here, but console is very comforting. It really does promote feelings of comfort, and so it has patchouli in there, and I'm going to forget what's in there now, but for me, I do find it very comforting when I'm stressed out. And the thing is with these oils, you guys, you'll find as you start to use them that you're going to be drawn to some more than others, and then you may be drawn to them differently. So there's some days where I open Console and I'm like, nope, that's not the one. And then there's other days where I can't get enough of it. So you'll kind of play around with which ones you feel are the most. Console does come in that roller, and then it also is an oil that comes in the bottle too that you can diffuse as well. Intune. So Intune is another one that it's really our focus blend, but I really find that it's super helpful for balancing. And so that's something that I personally seek a lot when I'm stressed out, is having those grounding feelings. And so Intune is a great one for that. So it's kind of a multi-purpose as far as focusing and then also supporting that stress. For Intune, just to give an idea, there's sandalwood in there, patchouli, frankincense and lime, ylang ylang, and Roman chamomile. So you're hearing florals there that are super relaxing, and then you've got some of those other grounding oils in there. Magnolia. Magnolia is one of our newer oils. So this one came out in September. I would say it's floral scent, but it has a little touch of honey to it. And I know some people have smelled it and they're like, I don't know. I will say that putting this one on your skin, it does smell differently than when you smell it from the bottle. And so, our chemistry in our body actually has a reaction with the oils pretty quickly, as you mentioned. And so you're going to notice that it might smell different on you than on someone else. So I do like the Magnolia just for that calming when stressed out. Right. Peppermint. So we talked about tension, right? We talked about how stress can really cause some tension to happen. And so as well as those GI issues. So peppermint's a really good one for that. You can put a drop of peppermint on your thumb if you have some head tension, and put your thumb to the roof of your mouth. And that, I will tell you, has been great for zapping head tension for me. You can put a drop of peppermint in your tea. Just remember that it is very potent, and so you only need that one drop if you're taking it internally like that. Even diffusing peppermint. So diffusing peppermint, I like to combine peppermint and lavender. Those are nice ones to relieve tension if you're looking for a diffuser blend for stress, relieving tension. Peppermint roller, so that one comes in, the touch roller too, and you can roll that on the back of your neck. It gives that cooling effect. You can do your temples. Just be careful when you are rolling on your temples that you don't get too close to your eyes. If you do ever get oil in your eyes, please don't wash it with water. That's not going to feel good. If you use just a little bit of coconut oil or some other kind of carrier oil to wipe it, that's going to take that away versus the water and oil not mixing, and you won't be able to get rid of that feeling. So just be careful as you get close to your eyes. Elevation. Elevation is definitely one of my favorite oils for diffusing. Right now, we've been diffusing Elevation and Balance and Patchouli together. here at our house. My husband's actually diffusing them at work too, and has really liked this one for work. So Elevation is, and Energizing is more uplifting. It's got more, a lot of citrus in there. And it really does support mood, any type of feelings of grief. So it is the joyful blend. So it's really uplifting. And then, like I said, I like to put it with balance. And I know that sounds kind of funny, but for me, oils, I have learned that if I can put an uplifting one and a grounding one together, I'm getting that balance that I'm looking for. So balance is my jam, you guys. Balance is my #1 oil for sure. Those of you who have been following along know that probably already, but balance, absolutely. So I use balance in diffuser blends, as I mentioned. Balance is definitely in my sleep roller. And so as we move into talking about sleep here, every night we kind of have a routine. And so I put Breathe, which is our, oh, this is backwards. Oh no, sorry. I thought it said Restful blend on there. So Breathe is our respiratory blend, but I do find that it's very supporting for rest. And so I put Breathe and Serenity in our diffuser every night, just a few drops of each. And then I roll the balance. So I used to use just balance by itself, and I've added Serenity to it. And so balance and Serenity on the bottoms of my feet before I go to sleep. And I will tell you guys, if you haven't tried this, absolutely try it. You will feel settling happen. It definitely is something, like I said, I really honestly thought I was a mega thinker, and I know I still am. But when I use these oils at night, I can shut that off and get some sleep. So I definitely believe those are happening. And if you try some of these and you're not getting those same results, it doesn't mean that they're not working. It just means that maybe your body's looking for a different one. So you just kind of have to explore a little bit with what your body is looking for. And I can help you with that. And as I mentioned, the book is super helpful for that. Let's see. Another one that's really good for stress, relaxing, getting rid of some tension is our Aroma Touch blend. And so that one is massage blend. And so it really has some nice soothing properties to the oils that are in there. I actually use that one personally a lot when I'm having some menstrual cramps, and it seriously gets rid of them right away. So I know that's not the topic we're on, but when I think of Aroma Touch for me, I think that that's super helpful to share. I do want to mention a couple of supplements because I know that those have been super helpful for me. Deep Blue Rub. So if you guys have not tried Deep Blue Rub, I will have to say, what are you waiting for? Because it's absolutely soothing, really helpful for tension. I actually had a little bit of head tension as I was starting to come in here, and I had this in my hand, and so I literally just like took a little dab and rubbed right in, and it's gone now, you guys. So this is super helpful for that. We keep it out. It's great for, rubbing on any sort of shoulders or back, those kind of things, really helping to relieve pain and tension. You're going to get that cooling and warming that you might get from some other products on the market, but this is going to be safer for you as far as doing that, kind of swapping out for some other things that we might have used in the past. Copaiba. So we've talked about Copaiba before. doTERRA released Copaiba in gel cap form in September. What a gift that is for us. I will say that I use these in place of pain relievers if I need them, and they're super, super helpful for that. And then Copaiba, you guys, it just is so powerful at that cellular level. It really responds to our cannabinoid receptors in our body. It's great anti-inflammatory, which, as I mentioned in the beginning, is something that is happening when our body is stressed out. Those inflammation things happen on purpose for our body because that's the signal that they get to respond, but then sometimes we're getting overinflamed and then we're getting lots of other issues. Copaiba is a really great one for emotional balance too. I know that there are several people who take Copaiba and then the Serenity soft gels together. The Serenity is our restful blend in the oil, but this is a restful complex. It's a little bit different. There's some other ingredients in here like L-theanine, which is really great for calming. And so I have asked the question because if you see this, like some people say, like, can I take Serenity during the day or am I going to be too tired? I think you have to know that for yourself, but I do know that there are lots of people that are taking these together. So if you really are struggling with anxiety or anxious feelings, those kind of things going on, then you definitely want to kind of explore some options here for easy capsule use for internal use. And you can use some of the oils internally too. You'll see on the bottle, it will have, I have one here that's internal, but it'll have supplemental facts on it. And so you can take those internally by using a gel capsule or putting it under your tongue. But that's what I was doing with Copaiba before these wonderful things came out. But these are great, you guys. They've got 60 capsules in here. So definitely something that you want to consider for commanding that. Probiotic, so as we talked about, GI issues coming up with stress, many other reasons, inflammatory things going on. Probiotics are a really great choice for supporting your gut health. I will say I've tried lots and lots of probiotics over the years. After switching to doTERRA, I really have found consistency with that and have found great quality in this product. And so the PB Assist is the probiotic doTERRA. And I actually take these at bedtime. And you guys, our body is really, you know, you hear like rest and digest, and that's actually really what's happening. And so that's why I have found it most helpful to take at night, because it's supporting that digestive process as we sleep. And then one more that I want to mention as far as supplements go, the Microplex VMZ. So those are our whole food vitamins. For those of you who are thinking about vitamins, you're not sure which ones to take, there are 8 million out there. I will say that you do want to make sure that you're taking a whole food complex so that you're getting the nutrients. Our food is so depleted of nutrients because the soil is so depleted that even when we're trying to get quality foods, we're probably missing out on some nutrients that we really need. So I would say that this is a great one. All of the vitamins that are in here really are supportive for energy, for making sure that we are supported with our stress levels. I think what's really cool about these is that they have tummy tamer in them. So a lot of people who have tried whole food type vitamins in the past have said that they kind of struggle with some tummy upset. And I would agree. I had had that in the past too. And then tummy tamer, it has caraway and ginger and peppermint in there. So it's super soothing for the digestive system. And so I have never had any stomach issues after taking these vitamins as I had in the past with other ones. So I recommend these. There are Lifelong Vitality, which is actually like a 3-pack of supplements, and you'll get this one in there, and then there's ones for energy and antioxidants and those kind of things. There's a couple of things in those that I have an intolerance to, so I don't personally take them. But I do know that so many people are taking them, and so many people are really reporting how they are supporting energy, supporting stress. So those are all wonderful things to add in. Just quickly, how do we really think about this, right? Like we have all these options, like how am I going to make this part of routine? And so I really do encourage you guys to keep oils out. As I mentioned a few times, right? Like one of them was still in my purse. Like you just learn to know which ones that you need with you, and keep them with you. And then keeping them out. I know that you want to make sure that you're safe. If you have kids in the house, you can teach them about oils. It's not something that we have to keep from them. We just have to teach them about them. And so it's definitely important to keep them out so that you can get them into your routine. Because routine is key, you guys, with anything, right? That's how we're going to get the most power from these, is if we are using them in a daily routine. Quickly, for those of you who might be new to oils, there are 3 ways to use oils. Aromatically is a great way to do it. You can diffuse oils. Like I said, I have some links in here, so anybody watching this who wants this will link you right to some diffusers. Those of you who know me, I wear essential oil bracelets often, or necklaces that you can just drop the oil right on to kind of have a personal diffuser with you throughout the day. This has a little guideline as far as like when you're thinking about diffusing in your home and you have little ones, you're just going to want to think about the fact that they are so potent that you might not need as much. And so if you are thinking that, you might use 6 or 8 drops in your diffuser, then you might just cut that down a little bit for your kiddos. And then if you have animals in the home, people ask about that too for aromatics. Just make sure that you're leaving the door open, that they're not feeling like they have to be in the room. And I will be honest with you, my dog, like there's very few oils that he doesn't like, but I know there are some that he'll just go in the other room or walk away from them. And so that's just important to keep in mind as you're diffusing. Topically is another way to use them. So I talked a lot about, using those rollers. That's a great way. I will say that for stress and sleep, I really do think topical is a really important part of that. I think it gets it to our cells quickly. And so you'll see here they kind of just talk a little bit like some of your oils, you'll see they're called neat, which means that you don't need to dilute them. So like lavender is one such oil, and all that information is going to be in your product guide. Some oils are sensitive, so if you know you have sensitive skin, then you'll want to make sure that you are diluting it with a carrier oil like fractionated coconut oil, almond oil, any of those. And then there are some that you do absolutely need to dilute because they would be considered hot oils. And so you'll want to make sure you pay attention to that. And it'll tell you right on the bottle too. Just quickly, I didn't talk a whole ton about citrus oils, but if you are wearing citrus oils topically, please make sure that you are being mindful that they can be photosensitive. And so again, that'll be right on the bottle for you, but just be mindful that if you're going into your skin's going to be exposed to the sun, that you're being mindful of that because some citrus oils are photosensitive. All right. There's links here. If you guys need help with like figuring out dilution and how do I make my own roller bottles with these, I'm happy to help you with that. And this Aroma Tools has a really great chart as far as how many drops that you might want to use as you're making them for both adults and for kids. Internal use, I talked already about this. You can drop it in your beverage. You can have it in a capsule, right under the tongue, right on the thumb that I mentioned with the peppermint for head tension. And doTERRA has wonderful ebooks, you guys. I don't know if you've played around on the website ever, but if you kind of type in ebooks in the search, you're going to get some really cool free resources there that really show dosing information, different topics. Last week I talked about cleaning, and there's one for that. There's some for stress and sleep, so there's just a lot there. You can also get those veggie capsules that I mentioned right on the website too. All right, so this is for those of you who may not have been shopping with doTERRA yet. So my website is here. You can check it out. Really, the smartest way to shop is definitely to join, get a wholesale membership, get yourself 25% off for the whole year. There are some enrollment kits that you can get started with which will waive your membership fee. And then for those of you who are members, if you're not already a part of our loyalty rewards program, that's where you're really getting the best bang for your buck. You're getting your shipping costs back in points towards product, and then depending on how much you're spending each month, then you're earning percent back on product as well. And so we always talk about PV, which is product value. Most things are dollar to dollar, but that's kind of what you're looking at. And I can go over that if that's something somebody is more interested in. We can talk about LRP. And then I want to mention, you guys, that there really is opportunity for you to be able to share these oils with people that you care about, your friends, family, that could benefit you as far as being able to enjoy your oils and get them paid at no cost to you. And so there's different levels of that. It doesn't absolutely mean that you have to teach classes like I am, or build a business around it. There are some commission requirements that you have, but just sharing is a way to do that. So if that's something that you've been talking to people about them and you're interested in, I'm happy to talk to you about that, because it really is a great way to get these oils into your home and still stay on those budgets that we're all trying to manage. Here's my contact information for anybody who's looking for some more information or some specific information. I do have a Facebook page, SBell Wellness. I'm always posting over there, educating there. For those of you who are members, I have my tribe page. We do some incentives from time to time over there. And then my Instagram. All right, I am going to stop sharing here. All right, for those of you who are watching this after the fact, I would love to hear from you if there are things that you want to chat about or questions that you have. Please feel free to do that. And so I stop the recording now. We can talk if anybody has any questions. Thank you.